It is the most wonderful time of the year once again.
Jack Frost.
2 months.
Roasting on an open fire.
Hannah, you're 2 months too early.
Chestnuts nipping at your nose.
Hannah, we're not doing this. We are not doing Christmas carols in the middle of October.
Folks dressed up like...
Hannah. Video game inept.
Yes.
No, 2 months too early.
Okay.
I'm talking about Spooktober, not Christmas.
Okay, got it. I just get so excited about Jack Frost roasting on an open fire. You ever?
Well, that's a Spooktober image.
You
if
ever
I've
seen
ever
Jack Frost roasting on an open fire? It's a sight to behold.
Oh, man. Anyway, play the Spooktober intro. The General Geekery Podcast presents Spooktober. Stupider or better?
I don't know. No, I don't know. Just more like, I don't know. I just, if I listened to them, I would cringe.
Well,
like, oh my gosh, I'm such a dweeb.
Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, it's Spooktober time. Let's dive right on in.
Woo!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the General Geekery Podcast.
Woo!
This is the podcast, of course, where we love to geek out about it with all we love to geek out about with no remorse.
No regrets.
And with all of the enthusiasm in the world.
Indeed.
As always, I am your resident coffee ninja by day, actor, gamer, streamer by night, Donald Kaczynski back once again. Joining me, as always, she is the artiste extraordinaire, and of course, video game inept. She is Hannah Kubiak.
Hello there.
And, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first edition of Spooktober 2021.
Ooh.
This is the time of year where we love to go over topics that are more spooky-esque in nature. Returning listeners will remember last year when we talked about topics such as H.P. Lovecraft and Stephen King. Those were very fun. Today, however, we decided to go with a very interesting one. Hannah, you want to take the reins on what we're talking about today?
Yes, we are going to be talking about hauntings, real-life hauntings in, mostly in America, right?
Well, I would just say in general.
In general? Okay.
We're about to go ghost adventures on this.
Yep, it's going to be great. I'm kind of interested in this kind of stuff. I mean, really, like, spooky, weird things I just find really fascinating, regardless of how much of it you believe, but I just think it's really interesting and fascinating, and just thinking about what might be beyond,
Blessed be the paranormal activities.
Oh, goodness. Actually, it's quite the opposite of blessed, but,
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean, yeah.
So, we each try to look up different hauntings or haunted houses, like whichever.
Yep.
And we've got quite a few examples today. I managed to find a couple apparent haunted sightings. One of which has actually transformed into a movie franchise.
Oh, okay.
But I'll get to that in just a minute. I believe you have one to share with us?
I do, yeah. It's probably one of the ones that's on your list, but I'll do it later. When we're done with the list, I will tell an in-depth story of one haunted house, because I got so involved in it. I was like, I'm gonna do a research on a couple, like 2 or 3, and then it was an hour before I was supposed to be here, and I had only done one, and I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. So we're just doing one. So we're gonna do a list that Donald has, and then we're gonna do a deep dive into one haunted place by me.
Yay!
Woo!
So,
flying by the seat of my pants, like always.
Seat.
Pants.
always remember pants.
Remember last week when we both said, bread?
That was great.
Time?
Check out our latest episode of Inepticon, Hannah playing through Persona 5. It went well before the power went out.
Oh, yeah.
I swear, that might have just been the haunting taking place, heralding the beginning of Spooktober.
Damn you, Harold!
Damn you, heralds! Except if it's the Herald of Galactus. And to that I say, please, Galactus, please don't devour our world. Shout out to all my Marvel lovers out there. So, I have 10 different haunted houses.
Nice.
This comes from travelandleisure.com. So, apparently...
Haunted houses in Travel and Leisure?
I know, right?
You're not just going to go and relax with the demons, the ghosts, the creepy old lady in the rocking chair watching you.
Yo, Beelzebub, can I get another hard cider? You got it, boss. So, these are apparently 10 different places in the United States that have had possible interactions with ghost stories and the paranormal.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I've heard of them.
All right. So first off, the Whaley House Museum, which is in San Diego, California.
I've heard of this one.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay. Back in 1852, James Yankee Jim Robinson was hung by his neck for the crime of grand larceny.
Grand larceny.
Indeed.
That has to do with money.
If I'm not mistaken,
Okay, I always get larceny mixed up with lechery, and I know that they're very different. Like,
leches. I'll go to my corner.
Where was this again? San Diego?
San Diego.
Is this the one where there was a child who got decapitated by a clothesline?
I want to say maybe.
Well, someone else can confirm that for us, because I've heard of these places, but there's so many, like, every single one of them has, like, lots of similar stuff that goes on in them, and I get them all mixed.
Apparently, the entire Whaley, the Whaley family, haunts the house. It was basically the husband, the wife, a little girl, and a dog.
Oh, the dog. Wait a minute. Was it the house, but it also had, like, a store attached to it? Out front, like they lived behind the...
I want to say yes. It doesn't offer too much detail from what I've seen. This is the picture of it as they show it.
Oh, it's so cute.
It's like a little kitsch. It's like a little kitsch town that you would find in like a rural southern town.
It looks like a it looks like a nice little diner or a B&B.
It does look like a B&B. This actually looks like a B&B that I encountered when I spent a month in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Like,
it looks
no
like
joke.
somewhere where you'd go in and they have like oh gosh. They have like the best maple syrup. You know, they say, we tap this maple syrup ourselves.
Yo, folks, want some pancakes?
Yo, want some pancakes? Yeah. A friend of mine from New Hampshire just sent me a bottle of maple syrup, and oh my gosh, I had no idea what I was missing.
Oh my god. Remind me next time we do a recording, bring the maple syrup. I'll make us like French toast or something.
Oh, yes.
You've just given me an idea. Next up is called the House of Death. It's in New York's Greenwich Village.
Okay, House of Death in Greenwich Village. I've never heard of it.
Does Death live there?
Probably.
In his hooded cloak?
Probably.
The townhouse is said to be haunted by the ghosts of 22 people who lived or died within its walls, including that of a 6-year-old girl who was beaten to death by her adopted father.
Oh,
yikes!
Okay. Never heard of it still, but that's very familiar.
Does she say, come and play with us?
I don't know.
Is this some Shining bullshit?
Some Shining bullshit. Is the Stanley Hotel on there in Colorado? Because that's the hotel that the overlook from The Shining was based on.
I haven't come across it yet, but we'll see. The Winchester Mystery House from San Jose.
Yes, the crazy old lady who was building for like 39 years, right?
I think so.
She heard that, like she heard from a medium or something that as soon as construction on the house stopped, she would die. So there's just constantly construction going on, and it was also haunted, and she, like, had people build, like, random staircases that went nowhere, and doors that went nowhere, like, to confuse the ghosts. I think I remember that.
Yep, halls that lead nowhere and everything like that.
Nice.
According to the legend, the rambling Victorian mansion that sits on a busy street in San Jose, California, is haunted by the ghosts of everyone killed by a Winchester rifle.
Holy cow. Yeah, cool. It's in San Francisco?
San Jose.
Oh, San Jose. I was born in San Jose.
Dang. The house's owner, Sarah Winchester, the heir to the Winchester rifle fortune, added room after room to the house to add more space for the dead. Yep. Mm-hmm. As you said. Mm-hmm. That is really weird. Just imagine, like, okay, Ghost, you're gonna be helping me build this real estate, So I was thinking right next to the master bedroom, we're just gonna add hall that leads nowhere.
Yeah, there was, like, apparently, dozens of bathrooms.
That actually sounds really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Where, no matter where you are, there's a bathroom nearby. Sometimes if you ate a bad salad, you just really need to...
sometimes I always find myself needing to use the bathroom, and all the bathrooms in my immediate vicinity are occupied.
Yep.
It's happened way too many times.
It's occupied.
Son of a gun!
Yeah, I did have a very bad salad the other day, like last week.
Did the tomatoes go?
No. It was just the spinach and the arugula and romaine and stuff, just all mixed together in one of those little plastic, like, containers. And,
ouch.
I ate it. I had a harrowing bathroom experience.
Oh, no.
and I looked at the salad and I was like, oh my gosh, this expired 10 days ago.
Hannah, no! You poor thing!
Oh, it was the worst. Like, yeah. At first I thought that it was just the fact that I can't eat anything, really, like, without having some sort of reaction to it. But it's just something that I accept. I'm like, well, I have eaten something and now I feel bad.
Well, dang.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of my mention of Massachusetts, the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast.
In Massachusetts, Lizzie Borden.
Imagine that. We found a haunted bed and breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah, she killed her, like, father and mother with an axe, yeah?
Yes, the police's number one suspect was Andrew's daughter, Lizzie. Lizzie stood trial for the crimes and was ultimately acquitted, but she spent the rest of her life under the shadow of guilt. Mm-hmm. Guilt. In exile, disgrace. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, no. This isn't Disney. Stop it. The house is now a museum and bed and breakfast outfitted with ghost cams.
Yeah.
If you're gonna... there's always going to be a tourist attraction for, like, ghost scares and everything like that. So, Why not ghost camps? Why not ghost adventures this shit?
Why not?
I will say I have watched Ghost Adventures when I was a kid, and I actually liked it, but,
I don't know what that is.
It was a show on Travel Channel.
Oh, okay.
The next is the Villisca Axe Murder House.
Ballista?
Villisca. I'm probably mispronouncing this name. I am sorry to the people that live in Villisca, Iowa.
Alright. Got any details about that?
So it's a small town in Iowa, roughly around 1,200 people, according to the consensus.
That's like the college I went to.
I see. Back in 1912, the Whitewood framed house was the site of a horrifying crime that left an entire family, including their 4 children and their 2 young friends, dead by axe.
Oh, wait, I think I may have heard of this.
What is it with murders and axe?
Well, it's like a household weapon in more rural communities.
I was about to say, do you see an axe around my apartment?
No, but lots of people have an axe, and it's used for house, like it was used for chopping wood and stuff. It was just around. It was, like, bigger and better than a knife. which is another thing that.
You're supposed to chop firewood, not chop body parts.
Yeah. So wait. So there were like some friends over as well.
Yeah.
And they were like asleep downstairs or something, and then was this the one where all of the mirrors were covered when the killer left or something? Like they covered all the mirrors for some reason?
That they did not say, it does not go into details on that. There were several suspects, including an Iowa state senator, but no one was ever charged with the bloody crime.
Ooh.
So it's an unsolved mystery.
Nice.
And apparently, the entire house is haunted by the victims. So, of course.
Yep.
The Bell Witch Cave in Adams, Tennessee. Well, imagine that. We get a cave.
The Bell Witch Cave.
Okay.
I am looking all of these up later.
So in the early 1800s, John Bell bought a tract of farmland alongside Tennessee's Red River. Bell and his family thrived on the farm until they started to see strange looking animals around the property, most notably a dog with a rabbit's head.
Ah! What?
How does that work? Like, okay, was the rabbit's head, like, enlarged to fit the body of the dog, or was it a smaller dog body so it could fit the rabbit's head?
Maybe it was a smaller dog. I'm trying to think if there are any dogs that look kind of like rabbits. Like a little dog that has, like, straight...
A corgi.
Back ears. Corgi.
A corgi with the head of a rabbit.
And they're like, it's just a corgi.
Oh, it's just a little corgi.
Dog with a rabbit head? What?
Hi, caramba.
That's an interesting one.
And apparently they were beset on by forges.
Forces? Forges?
Yeah, like some kind of like paranormal forces that were basically tormenting them.
Ooh. Normal forces at work.
So, yeah.
Spirit. 6.
Right. Believe it or not, on this house is the freaking White House.
Yeah, there's, like, isn't Abraham Lincoln haunting the place or something?
I mean, the man has his own bedroom in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume so.
You can just hear... You can just hear Abraham Lincoln shuffling around.
Score and 7 years ago. Hey, you've been spouting that nonsense for 200 years. Shut up.
Didn't Abe Lincoln actually have like kind of a high-pitched voice?
I think so.
Or something. Yeah.
Either like a high-pitched voice or something. But in most media, he's often depicted with a very low pitch.
Yeah, because that's kind of the stereotype you get of people who are like 6'4", right?
I think it has to do with the beard.
Oh yeah, the beard.
Just I mean, a man with facial hair like generally has like lower pitch voices. Next is the Sally House in Atchison, Kansas. So this is a famous ghost hunting attraction.
Okay.
According to this. It's rumored to be the dark lair for a demon who takes on the form of a little girl because of a family's bizarre experiences there. I'm just imagining, like, it's literally like maybe a 7-year-old girl, like just looking innocent as can be, and all of a sudden, outside, like, as soon as she starts talking, "I'll set your soul ablaze, mortal."
I mean, that's what I hear when every child speaks, but... They're so cute. They're like, I'm gonna wear your skin.
Okay, remind me not to let you near my nephews anymore.
What? No. They're just like little... But the creepiest thing ever is like little kids singing nursery rhymes, like in the dark.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think I was babysitting one time, and I just like was walking past the room, and the kid was just singing to herself.
I can remember.
To herself. She was just like, oh, what was it? She was like, hot cross buns, hot cross buns.
That's so creepy.
Ah!
Ah!
Or just kids standing in a darkened doorway, just standing there watching.
I mean, just when I thought a pair of girls in whites singing 1-2 Freddy's Coming for You on Nightmare on Elm Street was creepy, I hear this crap.
No, kids are really, really creepy. It's just because
no wonder they're used so effectively in horror movies.
Yeah, you know what I want to do sometime is I want to direct a production of Macbeth where the 3 witches are little girls.
Brilliant!
And they're just like playing and pretending to make a soup, and they're putting all sorts of weird stuff in there.
This has Salem witch trial vibes all over it, and I love it.
And either that, and I want them all to be wearing like porcelain doll masks.
Oh my god, that's terrifying!
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Double, toilet trouble.
Fire burning, cauldron bubble.
And one of them has a little lisp.
Oh god. Please let the leader of them be the one with the lisp.
No, it's gonna be the little tiniest one. It's gonna be like,
I've a funny snake in the cauldron, boil and bake.
We really need to talk to some youth theater groups about this idea.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be great.
This sounds like an amazing idea.
You could just get adults like actresses who are like a little bit smaller.
True.
And because if they're going to be wearing the porcelain doll masks, then they can all look the same, and then,
True.
Then we don't have to deal with all the illegal things involved in in hiring a group of 4-year-olds to pretend to be participating in the occult.
That is very, very true.
But that is a plan I have.
We need to write this idea down. This is
brilliant.
brilliant.
Yeah, it is inscribed in my mind.
All right, I got the next one is the Franklin Castle in Cleveland, Ohio. It just had to be Ohio. It had to be Ohio.
Franklin Castle in Cleveland. I used to be right by Cleveland.
Why did it have to be Ohio?
Cleveland. Oh. Ohio.
Yeah. Dang it.
What happened at the Franklin Castle?
Okay, let's see. It's considered to be the most haunted house in Ohio. Built in the 1800s, there was a string of mysterious deaths throughout the house.
Okay. Mysterious deaths. Like what? Like
one of the deaths was the daughter of the man who founded it. She died apparently due to complications with diabetes.
Oh. Yeah, like back in the day,
She died of beatus.
You really? Oh my gosh!
It's the only time I'm going to be able to say it on this show. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Apparently, J.R.R. Tolkien's mother died of diabetes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Complications of diabetes because it wasn't really a big deal.
That's right.
It's not really a big deal these days because we have treatments, but there's really nothing you could do back then.
Yeah, I remember. What was it? William Fliss when we went to the Tolkien exhibition.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He mentioned that. Next is a place known as Biltmore in Asheville, North Carolina. First of all, I got to show you the picture. Look at that.
Whoa!
Look at how beautiful that looks.
I can't believe that is in
North Carolina.
That's in America.
It looks like something out of frickin' England.
Yeah, it looks like Pemberley.
Built by George Washington Vanderbilt II as a stately vacation home. It has gained a reputation for being one of the most haunted places in the state of North Carolina as well as the country of North America.
Dude. I feel like every single haunted place, it's always so like, the most haunted such and such a place in America.
Nothing nefarious has been noted to have happened there, but apparently the Vanderbilt family has been rumored to haunt it since George Vanderbilt's death in 1914.
Wow.
So that was the list of the 10 apparently most haunted houses in America that I found.
That's ridiculous. Well, I'm really interested in the Bell Witch Cave and the dog with the rabbit head. That would be that's like some Lovecraftian shit there.
Indeed. That does.
Yeah. It's not really that similar, but it kind of reminds me of what was it called? There was a story that Lovecraft wrote about this child who he had goat's hooves.
Okay.
And he was just kind of creepy and he was basically like a demon spawn child. He had like horns and hooves and a little tail.
Oy vey.
It was very weird. It was just like about his life. I don't remember how it ended, but
So, what have you got?
Me? Okay.
What have you brought that you would like to share?
Yeah, for some reason, my house that I chose, my haunting, it wasn't in your top 10 list.
Interesting.
But I think it should have been.
Which is?
It is the Amityville Horror House.
I was about to talk about that house too. I'm so glad we brought this up.
I have a lot of information on it. From a lot of extensive research, and I wasn't.
This might be like one of the most famous like haunted house stories ever.
Yeah, and it's been alluded to in different horror movies. Like in The Conjuring, they allude to it. Like there's a seance that goes on in that house in The Conjuring 2, I think.
I mean, there's literally an entire movie series about the Amityville.
That too, yeah. Okay, so the Amityville Horror, it begins with the DeFeo family in 1974.
Okay.
They lived on 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York. And at 3:15 a.m., I believe it was in November, don't quote me on that though, Ronnie DeFeo, he got up and took a shotgun and shot his parents, his two brothers, and his two sisters while they were all sleeping in their beds.
Yikes.
He then, I think he went to work, then to the bar, where he started acting really hysterical and said that his family was murdered.
Jesus.
So he claimed that ghosts made him kill them, and he doesn't really remember what happened. That's what he claimed anyway. I believe he was tried and convicted and imprisoned. As far as I know, he's still in jail.
Yeah, I think he's still alive.
Yeah. While I'm reading here, could you look that up? Ronnie DeFeo, is he still alive?
Looking it up.
So the place remained vacant for about a year. And then the Lutz family bought it.
After a year.
In 1975, yeah.
Ronnie DeFeo actually died this year, back in March.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so okay, he died at the age of 69.
Wow. Oh, that's right. Okay, I did see that. Nice.
Fair enough.
Okay, I did see that on when I was perusing the internet. Okay, so yeah, about a year later, the Lutz family bought it. George and Kathy Lutz and Kathy's 3 kids. So the house had a reputation, like the realtors told them about it and stuff, said, just so you know, this is where the DeFeo murders happened.
I can't believe they actually convinced them to buy that house.
Yeah. I think, well, because something like that, it's a little bit cheaper, I think, than it would be. Like, this was a huge house. It had, like, I don't know, I think it was, like, 5 stories or something, like a giant house.
Which is insane to
Was it 5 stories or just 5 bedrooms?
I would assume 5 bedrooms.
5 bedrooms, okay.
I would assume maybe 5 bedrooms, because, I mean, like, even 3 stories, like, itself is just, like...
Yep, the giant... So anyway, it was a giant house, and they got it. It was a steal. They got it for a bargain.
25 pennies.
Yep.
If only.
Okay. So because the house had a reputation, or just because murders had happened in it and stuff, they had this priest come to bless the house, and he like walked inside one of the rooms upstairs, and then just walked right out and left.
It's like, nope.
Yep, nope. Apparently, either he got like a strange feeling or something. I've heard that, or I read somewhere in some of the places that he heard a voice say, "Get out."
Yep.
So, so yeah, the priest freaked and bolted. Some things that happened at this, that would happen at this house, there would be tons of flies all over the place.
Which they actually do reference, like, in both, like, the novel that is basically kind of like a biography of, like, the events, and then, of course, like, the films that was based on it. They do reference the flies.
Yeah. Some flies, cold spots, lots of like jolting sounds. There was this rocking chair one time that was rocking and rocking and rocking. And
That's the
wouldn't
worst.
stop rocking.
I hate rocking chairs for that reason!
I love a good rocking chair.
Yeah, but that goes by itself when there's no wind. Screw that!
When I'm a ghost, I'm going to find a rocking chair. And just when I die, the nearest rocking chair, I'm just gonna go and sit in it for eternity.
You better not haunt me, Hannah. I swear.
If I die first, I will.
No!
One time, my this elderly gentleman that I look after, he's 98, and there was this lady, like one of the nurses at the assisted living. She came to visit him and like check on him and stuff. And she was like, "Hey, yeah, you're doing pretty well for being 98. Like all your vitals are pretty good and stuff." And he's like, "Yep, well, but I won't be around forever." And then she was like, "Well, when that happens, you can haunt me." And he's like, "I will."
So nonchalantly.
Oh yeah, they're very nonchalant about it. Yep. He's like, "Well, I won't be here forever." I guess when you get to that point, you're just kind of like, well,
take me now, death. I do not fear you.
Kill me. Okay. Okay. There's also sort of a there was like green sludge pouring from the walls.
Oh no.
Like ectoplasm.
Yeah. I draw the line
Yeah,
of green
just
sludge. That makes my skin crawl.
Just kind of like pea soup running down the walls.
Hey, if you get the pea soup, make sure you eat it before it eats you.
Yep. But I mean, the first apartment that I lived in when I moved to Milwaukee, like, that's a familiar sight if you've ever lived in a subterranean. A subterranean unit of a apartment building, an ancient apartment building on the Upper East Side.
Oh, so it was a prison of black despair. Got it.
Yep. It was a. Yes.
Can you tell I just love quoting that part of a song from Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah. But yes, in that apartment, liquids did pour from the ceiling and walls sometimes. Okay. So. The men who lived there, so George and the two sons. So there were two sons and one daughter. We'll hear more about the daughter later. So they were, especially the father, George. They were becoming very like angry and violent. Especially George. He was obsessed over the fireplace and couldn't get warm, like no matter how hot it was in the house.
In comes the cold spots.
Yeah, he was just freezing all the time. Just him for some reason. Also, at 3:15 every morning, George, what was the last name again? Lutz. George Lutz. He would wake up just at 3:15 every single morning to like a weird, like a sound. Sometimes you would hear gunshots or screams.
Okay.
He would just wake up. And if you recall, 3:15 a.m. was the time when Ronnie took a shotgun and went and shot his parents and his two brothers and two sisters.
That was the dark hour.
Yep. And sometimes George would wake up in weird places, like not in his bed. When that happened, he'd be like down in the basement, or he'd be like outside on the lawn.
Why am I in this freshly dug hole?
Yep. Or just be like, just be out there. Apparently, after the Lutzes moved out because, spoiler, they moved out.
Oh, obviously.
Whatever was there actually followed them. So the house was fine after that, it seemed. For the next people who lived there, they didn't notice anything for a while. And the guy said, the guy who lived in the place after the Lutzes said something like, yeah, you know, there weren't very many haunting things going on, but a lot of, like, it was more haunted by, like, sightseers and just weird people like that. Like, one time he said that he was woken up at 3:15 a.m., not by any sort of paranormal stuff, but just by this random guy playing taps outside.
What the fuck?
And like he said, he came to the window and like said hello. It was like, yeah, it's funny, man. Like, kind of macabre, but you know.
What the fuck? At 3:15.
Yeah. So yeah, that guy would have to have either stayed up or have just not been able to sleep and been like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go down to Ocean Avenue and play taps. They'll think it's hilarious.
I'm a night owl myself, and even I think that's screwed up. What the heck?
Oh man. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, George would wake up at 3:15 every morning. Maybe he would go back to sleep, I think, but you know, just weird. Kathy, the wife, she would have dreams from Ronnie DeFeo's point of view, like,
oh God,
seeing through his eyes as he walked around and like
with shotgun in hand.
And that's kind of, yeah, in the scene from The Conjuring 2 where they're at the Amityville house. That's kind of the the experience that they portrayed Lorraine Warren having, where they were like having a seance and she was having a vision of, from Ronnie's perspective, walking around and shooting all the family members.
Oy vey.
Kathy described like being touched by an invisible person. One time there was some invisible thing or person like got into bed with Kathy and George.
Oh God.
George couldn't get up because there was something on top of him, and then Kathy started levitating.
It's real paranormal activity shit.
Yeah. Apparently also, Kathy one time, when something like this was happening, George looked at her and her face was like the face of this withered old hag.
Oh God.
And it took a couple hours to go away.
I'm thinking of the hag that was basically like the naked rotting corpse from The Shining.
Yeah, the naked rotting corpse from The Shining.
Oh, no.
The grossest thing.
My skin just crawled.
Ugh. Yep. Oof. And then she reappears in Dr. Sleep, that lady. She's just there all the time.
One of the few times I ever felt bad for Jack Nicholson. Oy vey.
Ugh. Oh, yeah. Let's see.
I'm still amazed I have an appetite to drink my coffee.
Okay, the kids, when they were sleeping, the Lutz kids, when they were sleeping.
Oh, here we
somehow, like, they would, in their sleep, like roll into the, like, positions that the dead kids' bodies were in.
Okay.
When they were found. Like, in the same rooms. Like, if they were, like, the two boys, I think, were in the room that belonged to the two boys who were killed.
Okay.
And they would just kind of, like, almost, like asleep, unconsciously, mirror the crime scene.
Right.
Very strange. The family dog kept on trying to choke himself with his own chain.
Doggo, no!
Doggo! Yeah, they'd try to, like, stop him from... He'd just keep on running and running and running, even though he was at the, like, extent of the chain.
Doggo, why?
Yeah. And apparently, I think it was George, the dad, like, years after that, would have nightmares where he was the dog.
Oh, God.
Who's this, like, the garage door would just open and shut and open and shut and open and shut.
Oh, malfunctioning machinery. Don't you love it?
Which actually is exactly what my garage growing up was like.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah. It was like a, we would have to push and hold the garage door button until it got all the way down, and then double click it so it wouldn't start going up again.
Oh my god.
It was
That's
like
insane.
very specific. Like, I remember we'd be leaving for school, and one of us would have to get out and close the garage door and just be standing there in the cold, like with our thumb on the button, like double click. Oh no, crap! And we have to wait for it to open all the way up again, so then we could click it to close it and try the whole thing over.
Oh my god.
It's so stupid. One time, one of the sons, I think he was 10 years old, and he got into a fight with his stepdad, with George. He was going down the stairs, and then something grabbed his ankle and pulled him up the stairs by his feet.
What?
Like,
I can't imagine. I can't picture that kind of situation kind of happening.
It was like some sort of deranged Mary Poppins shit going on.
That's not how physics works.
Yeah, no, it's not. And apparently his mom watched this happen, and then he was possessed for a second, and then she was possessed for a second. It was very strange, but yeah, like.
There's a lot of things happening at once, people.
Yeah, so I just imagine the scene from Psycho where that guy falls down the stairs after being stabbed. I just imagine that in reverse. Either that or gosh, what was it? It just makes me think of like a cartoon. I mean, it was probably terrifying. But...
Okay, question. Do you remember the episode of IT Crowd when they were talking about like the new police number, and it started off with this old woman falling down the steps, like the 2 levels of stairs? What if it was that in reverse?
Oh gosh, yeah. Where she fell down like 1 level of stairs, and then she was like, "Oh, good." And she like gets up and then falls down the next set.
It's like, oh, sorry, I've had a bit of a tumble.
I've had a bit of a tumble.
0818 999
881999 9119725 3. I can't believe we remembered that. We're too nerdy, I swear.
Oh man. What? That's easy to remember. 0118
999. And then he tries to call it later. Hello, may I speak to the emergency services? Well, which country did I call?
I'll send an email.
I don't know.
Dear sir / madam, fire! Exclamation point.
Fire! Exclamation point. Please send help! Exclamation point.
Hope you're doing well.
Maurice Moss. And then he goes to play frickin' Battlefield while the fire's still going.
Yep.
I'll send an email. It's fine.
We got an email about a fire.
That's the part that gets me. They actually got it.
Yep. Okay, another thing that happened to this kid who was dragged up the stairs by his ankles, was he was, like, going to close a window, and somehow, like, he had his hands on the ledge, and the window slammed on his fingers.
Oh!
Just, like, crushed the bones completely. So if you can imagine, like, if you could just imagine, just, like, no bone holding these fingers onto the rest of his hand.
I've had a slight smashing of my fingers before by a window. That does not feel good.
And then it was like stuck there for a while.
Oh,
like,
I felt that. I felt that on my knuckles.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts.
Then apparently a like ghostly figure wandered into the room that he was in and like walked, like phased through his hands, and then they were totally fine. Very strange.
Magic ghost healing.
Yeah. Magic ghost healing.
You got some salve with that ghost healing?
Honestly, yes. If a ghost was going to walk through me, I would prefer that it heal my mangled fingers than anything else, really.
Instead of knocking you out like when Voldemort like passed through Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Oh yeah,
got it.
Yeah, he just ghosts through you and takes your consciousness.
Thank you for healing me, evil / good Danny Phantom.
Yeah, let's see. Crucifixes would turn themselves upside down.
I mean, as is the norm for
Classic.
demon hauntings.
Classic. You know, actually, an upside down crucifix is actually the symbol of Saint Peter.
Really?
Yeah, because he was crucified like Jesus was, but he didn't think he was worthy to have the same death as Jesus, so he asked them to put the cross upside down, which is crazy, I think, anyway. But so that's why an upside down crucifix is the symbol of Saint Peter, but a lot of people think of it as being like this really demonic thing. So if you ever see an upside down crucifix somewhere, or like people, they're like trying to be all metal and wearing like an upside down crucifix on a chain and stuff.
It's Saint Peter.
It's like,
Got
God bless you.
Well, I did not know that.
But a crucifix, like one that has like the body or the corpus on it, when that turns upside down, that's no good.
Okay.
Crucifix turning itself upside down. I almost forgot to tell you about the little girl.
Oh, that's right. We almost skipped over her entirely.
Little girl, Missy, the Missy Lutz, the little daughter.
Missy.
She had an imaginary friend named Jody.
Oh no.
Yeah, and she was in the bedroom that the little girls were in, the DeFeo girls. And
wait, I thought there was only one.
No.
So wait, it was one son and two daughters?
No, the DeFeo family, the ones who were all shot in their beds. There were.
Sorry.
There were 5 of them, and 4 of them got killed. 2 girls, 2 boys.
I mixed up the Lutzes and the DeFeos.
And
Sorry.
The Lutzes is 2 boys and one girl.
Yeah, that's what I got mixed up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Continue on.
And her imaginary friend named Jody, which, because the DeFeo kids were they were children, so their names weren't released or anything when the news of their murders happened. So there was no way that Missy could have known, but Jody was the name of one of the DeFeo girls. And this Jody would appear as this creature with like a weird pig face with red eyes. And so she would be in Jody's room. If sometimes when people would like look at Missy, they would see like for a second like a pig-faced person standing behind her or like reflected in the mirror, just like for a second. Or a girl with red eyes would be there too. They also would see hoof prints in the snow all the time outside.
Basically, with this description, reminds me of a thing from Doctor Who. Basically, this.
Oh yeah.
That's what comes to mind.
Is that the That's like from the first season, right?
Like season 3. It was from like 10 and 2nd season.
Oh, there was a pig creature that like ran through Downing Street in season 1, but
oh yeah,
the pig people. Yeah, what was that one from? What was that one?
This one?
Yeah.
This was from a 2-parter from season 3 called The Daleks Take Manhattan and Evolution of the Daleks.
Oh, so they were okay. I vaguely remember that. Okay, but yes. So apparently, like pigs are sort of a symbol of the occult and stuff, kind of like the goat.
Oink.
Just hooved creatures, which it kind of makes me wonder, was it a goat instead? Because a goat is sort of associated with like demonic things, and like the devil is said to have like
demonic goat designs though. They look cool.
And horns and stuff.
That's true. That is true. And let's not forget one Krampus has a very goat-like appearance.
Krampus. Yep. Oh, Krampus. Oh, those were some of my favorite posts on social media that came up when it was the Krampus ones that I put little things under, like Santa and Krampus looking at each other lovingly.
Hello.
That was funny. Oh.
Is it me you're looking for?
Just like, oh, I love you. I know. I love me too. Okay. Missy she almost jumped off the roof because Jody told her, "You can be my best friend if you jump, forever and ever and ever."
Oy vey.
Which kind of reminds me of there's this.
Look, Jody, this is all for you.
There was an episode of Supernatural where something like that happened, where the little girl had an imaginary friend, and it was like the ghost of her dead grandmother.
Oh, jeez.
Who was like they were gonna jump into the swimming pool, because the daughter, the ghost girl, she had drowned in the swimming pool. Then she was like, "If you jump in the swimming pool, then we can be best friends forever." And yep, she did jump in the pool, but in that story, she was saved.
Well, we saved at the last minute.
By Dean.
No.
Dang.
The other one.
Oh, Sam.
Yep.
Dang.
He's the one who saves the kids.
I just wanted to shout, Dean.
Dean!
Dean!
Son of a bitch!
It's just fun to say Dean in that way.
Sammy! Sam!
Sammy!
Sammy!
Sammy! You okay?
Sam!
What is wrong with us?
Nothing. Sammy! Sam!
Anything else on the
Okay.
I am broken.
Oh, man. Oh, Dean. That poor guy.
So what else have we got on the Amityville?
Amityville, well, the last night they were there, the boys, their beds started floating, and they won't even, everything else, like, that was also when, Kathy, the mother, she started floating, and,
they all float down there.
Yeah, and they all float down there. And then George didn't get to float. He was stuck on the bed, pinned by something, and then other things happened that they would never talk about, and they left the house the next day. And never came back.
28 days, I believe.
Yeah, 28 days they were there.
Yeah,
now,
that's the thing that's always consistent, is that 28 days is always like the time frame in which they spend before either they leave or things happen.
In any haunted house or just Amityville?
In relation to Amityville, like just
Right.
like that, almost that entire like movie series,
Mm-hmm.
including that awful, just stupid remake with Ryan Reynolds. What even was that?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, imagine the Amityville Horror with a pre-Deadpool Ryan Reynolds. I don't understand it either.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about Ryan Reynolds to really
Fair.
care, but
Fair enough.
Okay, so this house there were a lot of like reporters and paranormal investigators going around and stuff, because why would this family, after buying this house, just leave, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody took a picture there of the house, and they swear they got the younger boy, his ghost, on camera.
Oi.
So we're going to play a game that is very ill-advised. For me, I've done it before, and it's never really worked out well, where Hannah brings a really, really grainy photograph that she printed out on her computer.
Oh, great. And my eyes aren't even
makes,
working.
Yeah, and makes... Yeah, so... I make Donald find hidden objects in grainy photographs using his one good eye.
Yeah, for those not aware, I had the day before recording this, I had to be involved in an event that included a lot of crying, and so one of my eyes was a bit puffy today. So I'm gonna try my best.
Is it the good eye or the bad eye?
No, it's the bad eye.
The bad eye. Okay, so
Yeah,
you can still use your good eye.
I can still use my good eye.
Okay. What was the kid's name? I think it was like John William or something. Find little John William.
All right, in this photo.
Yes. You will be able to see his eyes. That's the main thing.
I would assume this little black mark by the
What?
door, but
What? Which one?
like to the right of the door on this
Which door?
This one.
This one?
Yeah.
Nah, he's over here by the banister. So, he's right above my finger. See his eyeballs?
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So that's a photograph of the house. There weren't any kids there. Here it is. Here's a close-up of it.
Oh, dear Jesus! Oh, dear Jesus! That
Does
actually...
it or does it not look like this little kid?
It
on the
really
left?
does! It really does!
So, yeah.
Jesus!
So he's there.
I wasn't expecting it to be that clear.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Whoa! It's like, you just look at it, you're like, I don't know, it's just a doorway with a fuck!
it took a minute for my eye to like just.
Oh. Yeah, so
Holy
the
shit.
little kid is there, and I swear to God, he looks just like one of the littler boy who got shot there. So
Es el Diablo.
it's El Diablo with little shining eyes. Yep. So that's what
Looks
I.
like friggin' Damien from The Omen, dude.
Yeah. So that's what I've got is all of that crap.
Oh man, oh man.
Yeah. Like got most of that from the internet. Some from just like obviously podcasts and stuff.
Well, I'm glad we brought up the Amityville house just because I think that's probably like the most famous case of haunted houses, like in general.
Yeah.
So, to cap this off, I want to ask, what is it about like just paranormal stories like that intrigues so many of us? And this can come from like your own personal kind of.
Well, for me, it began actually when I, I didn't encounter this person, but I heard about them. This person who basically claimed to be like a mystic and a healer and stuff, but it turned out that they were nothing of the kind. So that kind of made me interested in sort of what my church does about things like that and how they determine all this stuff. And so I read this book. It's called An Exorcist Tells His Story about Father Emworth, who was, I think he was the Vatican. He was like the Vatican exorcist for a while, like the Diocese of Rome. He was in charge of doing exorcisms for them. And there's so there's like a lot of intense training that goes into being an exorcist, and like their identities are kept secret and stuff, and there's like supposed to be one for every diocese in the world, but there aren't really enough. So people they have to bring them in from other places. I'm not sure, but
Exporting our local exorcists.
Exporting our exorcists. Yeah, so and so I was reading basically all of this one exorcist's accounts about different things that happened, and like people said to me, they were like, don't, like, why would you read that book? That's so freaky. Like, wouldn't it freak you out? And I was like, well, no, actually, because when I read it, it basically sort of gave me a more kind of, I guess, realistic perspective of what kind of goes into exorcisms and what demonic possessions are like and stuff.
Right.
And it kind of made me a little bit more, I mean, I guess it increased my faith a bit. It's like, yeah, sure, there's demonic forces in the world, but we don't have to be afraid of them.
Right.
You know, like there are greater powers out there, and also, like, there are ways to combat this and stuff like that. So that kind of, yeah, that one story that I heard about, yeah, like somebody that, well, I didn't know them, but like,
right,
people I knew had met the person, basically. And just sort of wondering why that was and how that happens and how it cannot happen anymore, kind of.
right.
So yeah, if you're going to believe in God, you should also take into account that there are evil things out there as well.
Right.
So that's my story.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
Thank you. I've basically, well, you know how crazy I can be.
Yeah.
But I truly do believe in ghosts. I think I've been in close proximity with them back at my old house, actually, when we first recorded.
Oh.
Our first recording space. I lived in that house for a large majority of like my life. I was there for a short time. Me and my family lived there for about a year before we moved out, and then we moved back after my cousin, my aunt, and my uncle moved in there, and the landlord at the time literally asked us to move back because he's like, they are defaulting, and I need good tenants in there, and y'all were good tenants, and we're like, okay, fine, and we ended up staying there for like another like 15 plus years.
Oh wow, yeah.
I would always the attic of the house because I lived in a duplex.
Yeah. You
and
mean the attic where your room was?
Yeah,
And then there was a creepy storage space.
It did.
Well?
It did. It didn't. It wasn't always like that. Like the room that eventually became like my room in the attic was originally like our small storage space.
Right.
And the other side was basically turned into like a general like a hangout room for me and my brother growing up while we were kids. We would always have our friends up there. Just we had a game area set up. We had toy box, sword fights, stuff like that. I would always spend a lot of late nights up there, just chilling out. And remember when I said about like the rocking chair thing? That happened to me.
Oh no.
That happened to me, and I always believed that ghosts inhabited that place. As I grew up, and I eventually moved up there, I felt like I was becoming more attuned to like certain things that would happen, like certain feelings and that nature. There would always be like random gusts of wind on days where it wasn't especially windy. I would always get pretty cold at certain times on like very hot days, but it was never like in a malevolent kind of sense.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel like any case of malevolent. It was like more of like a pranking kind of thing. So that's what it like felt like to me. So like I of course my mom's side of the family is very religious. I don't practice the religion as heavily as several of my cousins do. I do believe that there is a higher power in this universe. Whether it be the existence of a god or anything of that nature. And so there is that. That's my personal belief. And whenever somebody talks about like some weird stuff happening to them and things of that nature, I always go to the assumption it's them ghosts, man. I honestly believe even my workplace. Recently, one of the long-standing employees that worked at my shop, he basically did a lot of deliveries and stuff, passed away. And there would always be random stuff that would happen at the cafe, and we believe that his ghost haunts it because we keep his usual coffee mug unattended to at all times. His cap that he would always wear for everything we keep in the electric, hung up on the hook in the that covers the electric box. And there would always be like random instances of like random stuff happening, and we're always like, Ryan. At least I do, because he was always a fun-loving guy. He always liked to play jokes and have a good time. So
yeah,
that's what I believe.
Yeah. At the funeral home I worked at, a lot of people said that they felt like there were ghosts there and stuff, but I never really got that.
I'm surprised, honestly.
You're surprised that the funeral home did, or that I didn't?
I'm surprised you didn't.
I think, I don't know. It might just be because, I don't know. I like to maintain my soul.
Understandable.
Maybe, believe it or not.
Understandable. Completely understandable. I don't blame you.
Yeah. I don't know. Either that or maybe things happen and I just don't really think that I just am good at coming up with rational explanations for things.
You are a very intelligent space mind, I must say. Very logical.
Thank you. For a moment there, I thought you said intelligence, space, mind. I was like, well, people have said that I'm spacey. Intelligent, not so much, but...
You are intelligent. Come on. You're one of the smartest people I know.
Oh.
At least I believe so.
Aw, shucks.
So, I think it mainly comes down to the fact that, like, there's just this constant fascination of, like, this fascination of possible life beyond the mortal coil. Mm-hmm. In some way, shape, or form. Whether it be in, like, small curiosities or extreme cases that just intrigue everyone.
Yeah.
Some more so than others. Some for monetary game or television fame. Thanks, Ghost Adventures, for all that. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just a fascination that just encapsulates, like, everything about imagination and faith in general.
Yeah.
Just, hopefully nothing malevolent happens. Otherwise, we're gonna need an old priest and a young priest.
Yep.
So, yeah. I think that's the perfect way to end that off.
I think so.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the General Geekery Podcast and our first edition of Spooktober 2021.
Woo!
If you guys like what you've been listening to, make sure to follow us wherever podcasts are found. We are on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, and if you guys want to listen to all of the episodes in order from the beginning, we have a playlist available on my personal YouTube channel at Anime Rev Productions. Links for that will be in the description of this episode. If you guys want to follow us on social media, check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Gen Geek Podcast and on Twitter at General Geekery. You can follow Hannah at Pythian Legume on Instagram, as well as catch her out on Mondays at Loaded Dice Adventures over on twitch.tv/Loaded Dice Adventures. They're starting up their extra campaign this month, aren't they?
Yes. We do not know the official date yet.
I'm so excited. I'm joining them for it. It's my first time doing a D&D campaign, and I'm so excited.
Yes. Wait, what character are you bringing again?
I'm bringing a half-elf bard.
That's right. Okay.
So
yeah.
I'm finalizing, like, the work on the characters. Like, I already have, like, the stats the stat outline all lined out. Thank you, Zach, my brother, for helping me out with that, because he DMs like 3 campaigns.
Holy crap.
The absolute mad lad. So if you guys want to check that out, that's on twitch.tv/Loaded Dice Adventures. You guys can find me on social media at RyuzakiMK7, and also on Twitch at RyuzakiMK7 as well. Go check that out. You guys can join us on our personal Discord server, the General Geekery Guild, the link of which is in the description of this episode. And if you guys want to support the show, please consider donating to our Patreon at patreon.com/General Geekery. Again, the link for that will be in the description of this episode. And if you guys don't want to pledge to the Patreon for exclusive access to things like that, and just want to just support the show directly, we will be working on getting a coffee page as soon as possible.
I think I made that.
Did you?
Did I? I thought I did.
Well,
I started to.
Well, if we haven't, we'll make sure we get it done sooner rather than later.
I'll add it to my list.
Anyway, the links of all that is in the description of this episode. Go check them all out, and we appreciate you guys for listening in and supporting us for almost 2 years of geekery nonsense.
Oh my gosh.
We are nearing 2 years this month.
Yeah.
Insanity, and we're coming closer to our 100th episode. Spectacular! I really think we should do the episode 100 live.
Live? Yeah, absolutely.
We will, we'll figure out the details sooner rather than later. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been episode 94 of General Geekery, Spooktober 2021, Hauntings and Haunted Houses. For Hannah Kubiak, I'm Donald Kaczynski, and until next time, guys, if you're ghost hunting, don't cross the streams. Ghostbusters reference. Mm-hmm. And always remember to keep your geek on.
Always.
Clink, clink.
Clink, clink.
Spooktober has just begun!
Come and play with us.
Bye, guys.